I just finished Midnight Meeting by Kaelyn Rodriguez. Uh, we've kind of become TikTok friends and wanting to support each other, so always love supporting fellow authors who have gotten to connect with and whatnot. And this is her debut that came out a year or two ago, something like that. Yeah, a year ago. This is a sort of Edgar Allan Poe inspired modernization, gothic horror with some romance. Uh, Not my typical sort of thing in the horror pantheon, but I very much enjoyed this. It's not perfect, but it's very, very good. I do say it necessarily needs another round of edits, but she did say that she is putting out another edition of this that's going to have a lot of fixes and things like that. And I think she said a new cover, which I already really like this cover a lot, so I don't think it really needs it, but if she has something cooking, that's very cool. So if you really are stingent on like things being really like, very, very clean, then you might want to wait for that and keep an eye on it for that if this sounds like your thing. Or you can be forgiving of that stuff because an indie author debut, we don't have money to always hire editors and stuff like that, so that's kind of how it goes. But this follows Annie. She lives in Allen Manor. She lives there and with her grandmother who has dementia and a whole lot of ghosts. And when a new tenant arrives to rent a space in their home, things start to change, both in terms of the dynamic of the household of the living, but also with the dead. Very, very cool. Sort of like, there's like three parts to this book, basically. There's like the romance part, the supernatural horror stuff, and then like this like emotional like core about Annie's character and her family line and how that ties to her and everything like that. The family stuff is really excellent. There's such great emotion there, and it's just like, man, there's some serious gut punches in terms of her journey, her family's line, stuff like that you learn about her and her grandmother that's really, really devastating and really emotional. I know even on the back here it says it's inspired by the Haunting Hill House, the Mike Flanagan Netflix adaptation, which definitely gives those vibes in terms of that type of stuff, and also the such like radiant of hope and love in this that feels very Mike Flanagan. The horror stuff is awesome. There's some really disgusting, brutal shit in there. The ghosts are really interesting, especially the way they play into the story later on and stuff like that is really great. The romance is probably the weakest part of it. I just think the way the guy sort of makes it, when he starts smitten with Annie, it doesn't really work for me. I just think it's too much of a bad, like, the classic, they don't like each other, largely because someone maybe, had a bad introduction, and then they eventually, like each other, then they like each other, and then they love each other. I just don't, it was tough for me to get over the hump of the bad introduction of when he starts smitten with her, and it's like, I don't like this. Not necessarily the writing, but I mean like the character. I'm just like, oh, I don't like this guy. I think once they kind of got over that hump, it works overall, but I think maybe have a little bit more time to develop that relationship and make me kind of have it evolve a little bit slower and kind of ease into it a little bit better, or maybe a different introduction. But overall, I did like the romance thing in here, but it was I really just wanted more of the horror stuff or more of the emotional stuff with just Annie. But the way that things tie together by the end actually really kind of puts a bow on everything, and it ties everything together in a really interesting and evocative way. So I think it works by the end, but it does take me a little bit to get into the romance subplot of this book. But I think it's pretty good. I really liked it. I think it's mostly just because it's like not my normal genre of horror and style that it's going for, but I think that's a testament to how it's actually really good, because even I was like, I really dig this book. Just supernatural horror, the romance stuff, all that stuff is not normally my thing. But yeah, if you want some gothic horror, I think check this out. Very emotional, really powerful, uh, very unique. And you can get the first edition, or you can wait till she does the new version of it. But I'm very, very excited to see what she does next. I believe she's writing a slasher next, which is very much up my alley. So that is something I'll be pre-ordering and reading day one, and I'm gonna devour. And yeah, especially if you're not an Edgar Allan Poe fan, a lot of quotes from him in between the chapters and stuff like that. So you get you get that, and that's quite fun for people who are big fans of Poe, which I've never really experienced much of his work or anything like that, or have that connection to his work. But anyways, you can follow me wherever I post these on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, so you can watch wherever you prefer. And I have my own novel, The Huntress and the Trickster, that's available now. And also, I will be coming out with my next novel, hopefully by the later this year, probably summer. So, and it's going to be a horror, so keep an eye out.